Tell me if this sounds familiar. A character with a special power or trait that's passed down from his parents. The combinations are actually endless. Some powers are complete opposites like fire and water, while others are kinda complementary like fire and ice. So unlike my other superpower videos, this one isn't specifically about a power, but the ability of a mixing of powers through birth and lineage. Shoto Todoroki's power, half hot, half cold, allows him to manipulate both fire and ice, and it's been passed down from his father and mother. Today we will look at how his power is used, as well as other characters in the story. As previously stated, a hybrid power is a person or character who has more than one type of power, normally due to their birth or ancestry. While there are alternatives, it's mostly due to this case. One of the most famous hybrids is Gohan, half sane, half human. Gohan and other human hybrids seem to have more potential when it comes to power, more latent ability than their fathers. The human half for some reason amplifies their sane powers. Sometimes having the bland, boring human half is the ability to remove weaknesses from your other power. Blade, for instance, is a daywalker. He has all the physical strength and abilities of a vampire, except he doesn't have the weakness of the sunlight. He can walk and roam freely in the daytime. Hell, one of the main driving focuses of the Underworld series are the vampire and werewolf hybrid children that everyone wants. More powerful, the best of both worlds. Hybrid characters are often used a lot when it comes to talking about themes of inclusion and diversity. Having the best and worst of both can create a story element where the main character has to fight to bring both sides together, whether it's families, races, or whole species. Hybrid characters normally, while having great powers and abilities, they tend to also be the link between two antagonist forces. Sometimes not always external but internal. With Todoroki, one of his main issues is the hatred of his father, who's not only abusive but sees him and his siblings as only tools and weapons to be used to become the greatest hero ever. Todoroki's eyesight from his mother was used as a way to make him more powerful. He was not created because of love, he was created just so he could be a better version of his father and to be the best hero out there. While raising him, his mother did love him but also hated his father's side, his fire side, which caused her to scar him, which further drove him to not use his fire side, and largely depending on his ice powers. This is often a struggle with hybrid power characters when it comes to them as hybrid characters overall, the choosing of one side or maybe neglecting of the other. Todoroki is shown to be at his best potential when he uses both his fire and ice powers, both balancing each other out. If he overuses his ice powers, his body begins to freeze. The same if he overuses his heat powers, his body begins to burn up. By perfectly merging both of his powers, both of his lineage, Todoroki becomes one of the strongest new heroes out there. And a bit about Todoroki himself, both of his powers serve very similar functions. Both are used for defense and offensive capabilities. Ice spears, ice walls, you have firewalls, you have fireballs. Both also reflect his personality, as Todoroki is the lone, brooding, silent type. Besides his visual appearance of having half white, half red hair, Todoroki is also the strong and silent type, the one that wants to keep his distance, similar to his powers. But symbolically, the same way as physically, when he uses both, he becomes a warmer version, a more approachable character. Of course, hybrid power or hybrid ability characters are only in the realm of stories, but they normally have a message. While there are some parts of you that you may feel are incompatible, that simply don't mesh well, things that you were given only due to the circumstances of your birth, when you get to accept and master those traits, those parts of you, you become a better person, a stronger person. I personally believe a lot of hybrid powers, a lot of characters who are hybrids themselves, are created to show the better aspects of each, and that any power or any side or faction is indeed valid. So what do you think about Shoto Todoroki and his fire and ice powers, as well as what is your favorite hybrid character? You have Blade, you have Inuyasha, you have Gohan, Ichigo, so many options out there. Do you have a favorite hybrid character? Let me know down in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and share if you haven't already. See ya.